And speaking of re-examining who the tough guys are, damn, Suge Knight's chickens are coming home to roost. I'm not happy to see violence against anyone, especially when it could lead to more violence, so I don't take any pleasure in seeing Suge Knight get knocked the fuck out. I'd much rather take pleasure in Suge Knight's complete failure as a music mogul for the last 10 years. Cause to me, that's the real knockout and the real lesson of the Suge Knight story. I don't think many people who love hip-hop would disagree that Suge Knight's career has exemplified a whole lot of what went wrong with hip-hop in the last 20 years. Which is not to single him out as the only bad guy, cause most of the other people who run the music business are thugs and bullies too. But the difference is that most of those other ones are corporate thugs who bully people with white-collar crime. Suge Knight's downfall was that he never made the transition from the corner hustle to the corporate hustle. He kept on trying to live by the street corner mindset when he was no longer on the street corner. You can get over that way in the short term because as long as you're dealing with other hip-hoppers, most of us speak that language and kowtow to those rules. But sooner or later, you're gonna run into conflict with somebody's accountant, and he's not gonna jump when you say boo because he doesn't believe in the boogeyman. He doesn't subscribe to those street corner ethics. He doesn't care about your shooters because he has lawyers, and his lawyers are always gonna trump your shooters, just like rock, paper, scissors. If you try to leave the corner without making the adjustments you need to make to play those away games, eventually you're gonna wind up ass out just like Stringer Bell dealing with Clay Davis. And that to me is the Suge Knight story in a nutshell. Setting aside the issue of being unprincipled and evil, it's the story of so many of us in hip-hop. This music gives us a chance to make it so far off the corner, but when we go out there still clinging to the corner mindset, the Clay Davis corporate world sees us coming a mile away and they can't wait to eat us up and spit us out. So I hope that'll be the lesson that people learn when they look back on Suge Knight instead of focusing on who knocked out who, knocked out who, knocked out who. Because anybody can get knocked out, and that's why street corner clout is such flimsy currency in every other marketplace. That's why America is always entertained by your gangster persona, but never truly respects it, because it only takes that one punch to turn you into a punchline. Whereas if Steve Jobs gets punched in the face, he's still gonna be Steve Jobs tomorrow. So basically what we've learned this week is that Steve Jobs is more hard-bodied than Suge Knight.